that's the first thing I would say. Make sure that you're hydrated, and a cup of tea, I think, always does the trick, right? This is a spiced mulled tea that I bought from Bruges. I was there at the weekend. That's nice. Busy though, isn't it, this time of year? A bit too busy for me, but there you go. I still bought some nice tea. In the old days, I'd buy beer, but now I buy tea, and I'm happier with tea. It lasts longer and it makes you feel good. So yeah, thank you for coming along. It's our it's our last live classes, or my last live chair yoga class of this year. So thank you so much. I'm just going to move my camera a little bit because you can't see my feet, and in chair yoga it's important to see your feet. So yeah, last live class of the year for me in chair yoga. So thank you to everybody that's joined. If it's your first time, well, thank you for joining this last one. There are scheduled classes that will happen over the Christmas period, but we all take a little break from the live classes. But you'll still be able to catch up. There's scheduled classes. There's all the content on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you find the Virtual Village Hall content. So try and practice over the festive period, right? Because we sometimes need that practice, right? When life becomes a little crazy, there's a lot of demands. There's a lot of joy in that stuff as well, right? But also there can be demands, and it can be challenging spending time with family. I'm grinning away here. But whatever you're doing, I hope you have a good one. We've got one more opportunity to move together. So find a nice comfortable chair. I'm tapping my sturdy chair here. Make sure it's got 4 legs. That would be my advice anyway. You can do it on a stool, but I would say 4 legs is better. And it might be your favorite chair that you watch TV in, or you spend time in that chair. Whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be a certain thing, right? So let me take one more little sip and make some room on my shelf. And then why don't we start just by drawing a little bit of length into our spine like we normally do. All these classes we've done this year, just setting up. I'm sat away from the back of my chair, but you can feel free to lean back on the back of your chair. The reason I do this is because then I can find a little bit of length. I've got a lot of room to breathe into. And, there's a level of, effort going on here. Not too much effort, but it means that my body isn't slouching, and I can relax my shoulders, and I can just really get into this shape that I've created. If it feels okay as normal, you may close the eyes, or you can just draw your gaze down towards your feet. And I guess before we start any movements, then just appreciate this time that you've taken to get this far. To get in your chair or on your chair, and just to see what unfolds, just practicing together. We're going to do some of the stuff we're doing all year just to bring some of it together today. But for now, just finding stillness, and maybe just check in with your breath. Notice how your breath feels. And if you can, breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose. And the beautiful thing about yoga is that we don't just get the physical benefits. We get the, the calmness, the mental benefits from it. Maybe you sort of realize your energy within your body, or how you're feeling, right? This is a feeling practice. It's not a doing practice. We're just seeing how things pan out. The nice thing is, if you can get yourself a little bit of space and time, then you can do this any time in the day. Any day, and it might just be for 5 minutes. So you can grab those little micro moments of wellness, right? Especially over Christmas. It's better than down in a bottle of Baileys. A little bit of mindfulness and a little bit of breath awareness can take you a long way. And then if your eyes are closed, then maybe come with your eyes open. Nice. Thinking about Baileys, I don't think I've ever had a Baileys in my life. I don't drink alcohol anymore, so I certainly wouldn't go for Baileys, but I might have had a sip when I was a teenager. That's the kind of house that I grew up in. All right. Let's just move a little bit through our arms, and then we'll get into our neck. So when you're ready, I'm going to roll my sleeves up. You might join me. This is hard work, right? Roll your sleeves up. Here we go. Inhale to bring your arms all the way up. Nice. And then as you exhale, comb your arms all the way down. Just begin to move like that. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Couple more like that. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then your final round. Inhale to bring the arms up. And then as you exhale, twist to the right. So right hand maybe on the side of your chair, left hand on the right knee. Inhale to find length. And then exhale into your twist. Nice and simple here. Inhale to find length. Exhale to find your twist. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. And a full exhale. Nice. Inhale to bring the arms all the way back up. And then exhale, twist to the opposite side. Right hand, left knee, or the left thigh. Left hand supports you. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Couple more like that. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And then final round. Deepest inhale. And your fullest exhale. Inhale, come back to center, sweep the arms all the way up. And then this time, bring the hands together and then exhale, frame your hands to the heart. Two more like that. Inhale to bring the arms up. Exhale to frame your hands at the heart. And then one more time. Inhaling up. And then exhale to frame your hands to the heart. Beautiful. Really nice work. Okay. I'm going to take another sip of tea, so maybe you join me. Maybe not. A little bit of movement through our neck. Feel free to kind of move around a little, right? You can move around. This can feel quite good. And then a little bit of movement through the neck, so you can drop your chin down. Maybe you rock your chin a little side to side. See how the back of your neck's doing. Make sure your jaw's nice and relaxed. And then if you wanted to, you can circle your head all the way out. So maybe inhale as the head comes up. Maybe exhale as the chin falls down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. And making this movement right for you. And I always go slowly with neck rolls. You can come back the other way when it feels good, when it feels right. Maybe to noticing those differences side to side. And then eventually inhaling, bringing your head all the way back up. Taking a full exhale. Beautiful. Really nice. Right, let's do a little side to side movement. I think it's a nice way to open the sides of our body. So again, you might just have a little move around, a little wriggle, and then you'll bring your left hand down and inhale, right arm up. As you exhale, bring your right arm over to the left. So you see that nice bend that we create, that nice opening through the side of the body. Breathe a few times here. You can turn your head towards the right if that feels okay. Deep inhales. And full exhales. Maybe one more like that. Your deepest inhale. And your fullest exhale. Nice. Inhale, come back to center. Drop the right arm down. Inhale again to bring the left arm up. And then exhale, little side bend over towards the right. So left hand draws over towards the right. If you went the other side, that's okay. Breathe into that shape you create. Remember, it's not about coming down too low. It's about creating space here. Breathe in between the ribs, the intercostal muscles. Nice deep inhale. And full exhale. All right, now we're going to move in a dynamic fashion, which means we'll move with the breath. So inhale, right arm to the left. Exhale, left arm to the right. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, left. exhale right. And just move like that a few times. Inhaling, exhaling. Or any variation, right? Any variation that feels good for you. Maybe 3 more times on either side. And then exhale, bring your hands all the way down. Nice work. Hands onto the knees. And then we'll do a little bit of seated cat-cow. So inhale, drop your belly down, lift your head, lift your heart. Exhale, round your spine. Really push your navel back, round your shoulders. Inhale to lift. Maybe look up. Exhale to round. Inhaling. Exhaling as you round. Couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Full exhale. Final time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to bring your spine nice and long. And then exhale, a little bit more movement through the neck. Drop your chin down towards your sternum. Maybe rock the chin a little side to side. Back to where we were a few moments ago. And then bringing your head very gently back to center. And then we'll do a couple more movements through the shoulders. So bring the hands onto the knees. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale them down. So I'll go a little bit quicker here, right? A little quicker. Kind of as I exhale, I really drop my shoulder blades down my back. You might be able to hear my breath. I'm quite intentional with my breath. I'm inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then maybe you inhale one shoulder up and then the other. Stay nice and relaxed through your jaw. Back of your neck remains nice and long. Inhale both shoulders up. Exhale them down. And then just take a moment to pause here. Maybe bring the hands onto the knees. Maybe close your eyes. A good amount of time into the practice now. This is a good opportunity just to check in and just see how you're feeling. Back to that idea that it's a feeling practice, and see if you can really inhabit this present moment. Try not to let your mind drift off into the future or let it drift off into the past. Try and be as present as you can be. Couple more rounds of breath. Nice. And from here, we're going to do some Sufi grinds or Sufi circles. So inhale your chest forward, exhale to round your spine. So pick a direction just to move your torso out in. Again, just see how that feels. They don't have to be big. They can be quite small. You can sit a little taller. You think about your navel, you just draw little circles from the navel. And then maybe come back the other way. Circle your torso out in the opposite direction. And then inhale, bring your torso back to center. And then take a full exhale. Beautiful. All right, from here, let's do a little bit of breath work. So it's a good time to have a drink because we're going to use the breath quite, what's the word? Intentionally, right? Energetically. Now, you might also want to blow your nose at this point because we're going to breathe in and out through the nose. So this time of year, I know there's a lot of nose things going on, right? So make sure that you feel like your airways are pretty fluid, not full of fluid. Fluid as in open, but they might be full of fluid. It can sometimes work that way. Okay, so we're going to do a breath of fire again. So remember, breath of fire, we don't do a lot of it, but I like it, and I think it's a good one to do before Christmas because it can really cut through your experience of how you are at any given moment. So what I mean by that is if you feel tired, right, there's a breath of fire. If you feel frustrated, you can use breath of fire, right? Even if you feel like, you know, you're quite hyper and you want to bring the body down, breath of fire, right? So breath of fire works in lots of different ways. I think it's more of an energizing breath. It energizes me, but I do know some people that use it to calm them down as well. So, you know, horses for courses, we're all really different. So this is a panting breath in and out through the nose, which might make no sense whatsoever. But think about how a dog pants, right? They stick their tongue out and they pant like this. You might pant with me, right? You see a dog, right? You might have a dog next to you now and it might be panting away. Not so much in the winter. So we do that kind of breath, a little bit slower maybe, but in and out through the nose. So the way I think about it, it's a forceful exhale out and a passive inhale in, but it's in and out through the nose, okay? So think of it as like you've got a fly stuck up your nose and then you're blowing the nose out, blowing the fly out, and that's the exhale. So that's how you do the exhale. The inhale, don't worry about it. It'll bounce back in quite naturally, right? Because it just does, right? You don't need to really explain the inhale. So nice way to do this is you bring one hand on your belly. You can bring two on. You can do it this way if you want. And then do it really slowly. So force the air out. Two more. Inhale. And then take a full exhale. So that's your rhythm. Now you might have felt your inhale coming back in, right? Without concentrating, or it might have come in quite naturally. I don't really think about my inhale, but I know it's there. I know it's coming back in. So we're going to do a little bit of breath of fire. Now we'll go a little bit faster if it feels good for you. If it makes no sense to you whatsoever, don't worry, right? Because these breath rhythms we build up over time. And if it's brand new to you, it will just probably feel quite weird. But it's a great breath. It's also called skull shining breath. So you can get that idea. It kind of activates at the top of your head. So really good when things feel a little out of control or you just need that extra bit of energy, for me anyway. So why don't we do it this way? Let's bring our hands into heart-based mudra. So hands together, press your thumbs into your sternum so you can sit nice and tall. Think about your belly here. And then we'll start relatively slowly and then we'll build the breath up. So in and out through the nose, forceful exhale. So you take an inhale to begin and then start your breath of fire. From here, take a deep inhale. Maybe pause the breath at the top, squeeze the belly up, squeeze the belly in. And then exhale, let the hands drop, come back to a nice steady rhythm. And just notice how that feels. You know, for me, there's always a little buzz, a little hum through my body. It feels good. It's that the energy that I've been creating. Right, let's do another round. This time we'll just keep the hands on the knees, maybe bring the thumb and the forefinger together. So the thumb and the first finger. And then you can use that breath rhythm again. I'm going to go a little bit quicker, but not too quickly. So inhale to begin, and then start your breath of fire. From here, a deep inhale. Pause your breath again. Squeeze your belly up. Squeeze your belly in. And exhale, let your breath go. And then just let your breath come back to a nice steady rhythm. And again, just notice what you're noticing. Nice simple stuff. And see if you can notice any changes, see how you're feeling. Nice. And then maybe you just bring the palms down, and then we'll do this nice and simple, a little bit more movement through the neck. Inhale your head very gently over towards the left. And then exhale your head all the way over towards the right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. And exhale right. A couple more times either side. Nice and slowly. Inhale your head all the way back to center. And take a full exhale. I'm going to yawn. Yawning's good, right? It means the nervous system is, doing exactly what it needs to do. It's calming everything down. So don't be ashamed of you yawning. All right, if your eyes are closed, come with your eyes open. Maybe have a little move around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my legs a little bit wider, and then I'm going to press into the outer edges of my feet. I'm going to sit right on the edge of my chair, and I'm just going to have a little move around here. So I'm going to kind of lengthen one arm as I bend into the other, and then I'll come back to the other side. So just a little shoulder release. Feel that through your spine. And if you wanted to, you can always experiment and maybe, draw some little circles, maybe come back a little, make it up. Nice, beautiful. And then bring your spine nice and long again. Take an inhale, to bring the arms all the way back up. And then as you exhale, fold over your legs, right? So that means that you bring the hands here, right? This might be where you hang out. You can let the head drop. Maybe you bring the hands down in between the feet onto the floor, or maybe onto the shins. Let your head be nice and loose, and don't feel like you need to be still. Sometimes it's worth wriggling into these forward folds. Nice. All right, from here, you can just walk the hands back onto the knees and push yourself up with the hands, or you can inhale and sweep the arms all the way back up. As you exhale, bring the hands to your heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale to sweep the arms up. As you exhale, fold forward. Maybe you remain here, right? Hands on the knees, just kind of moving your torso a little side to side. Maybe dropping your hands down. Dropping your head, looking down underneath your chair. To come back up, press the hands onto the knees, or inhale, use the feet and the arms to guide the arms above the head. And then exhale, frame your hands to your heart. All right, let's do this one with a little twist. So inhale to bring the arms all the way up. As you exhale, your choice, right? Maybe stay here. You can keep the right hand on the right knee, and then inhale, left arm open. Or you come lower, right? So you're kind of in this shape. Your choice. I'll stay up high, nice generous bend in the right elbow, and then just floating that left arm nice and high. And if the neck feels okay, we've done plenty of work there, but just be gentle. Maybe look towards your left fingers. Take a deep inhale and then a full exhale. Bring that left hand back. Either drop it down or stay high like I'm going to. Bend into that left elbow. Inhale, right arm open. Beautiful. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, bring it down. Move side to side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Use your breath. Couple more times either side. Final time. And then bring your hands down. Maybe just widen your feet a little bit wider. Just find a little flourish. Inhale, bring the arms up into cactus and find yourself in your seated goddess pose. Again, press into the outer edges of your feet if you can. Pin the shoulders back. Maybe move a little side to side. Make it up. Some people like to stretch the arms up. Exhale, you can bring the elbows down. See how that feels. Make it up. Nice. And then if you're moving with me, inhale the arms up one final time. Exhale, comb them down nice and slowly. Beautiful. And then with the hands onto the outer knees, just heel toe your feet in. And then maybe you just squeeze one knee in. So you can do this kind of thing. Maybe squeeze the other knee in. You know, I talked to you about, if you find it hard to get down to your legs, you can use bands. Give me 1 second. I've got this lovely set of bands here, come in a nice little pack, and they're all different kind of, different resistance. So what I mean is, if you find it hard to kind of grab here or grab here, you can bring a strap, right, and kind of use the strap. So you get a little bit of workout for your arm as well. So there's lots of things you can do with these resistant bands. And a pack like this, right, I don't know what there is, about 5, I don't know what it cost me, about 10 quid, something like that. So resistance bands are brilliant, and you can use them with your arms, right? So you don't need to go down the gym and lift weights. You can do a lot of this stuff with resistant bands. They're really, really, really brilliant. I recommend them highly. All right, from here, let's find a little bit of stillness. Sit back in your chair if you want to, or you can sit like I am with the spine nice and long. Maybe bring the palms up, maybe close your eyes, and just notice the effects of your practice. As I was saying at the start, it can be, a busy time of year for a lot of us. Routines kind of fly out the window. So just getting onto your chair and practicing a little bit of yoga can be, a massive tonic. It can be something that just separates you from what you need to be separated from, right? Be truly present. And maybe you just dedicate your practice to someone that needs it, or you dedicate your practice to yourself. None of this stuff we need to be perfect, right? We're just practicing and we're just seeing what happens. As long as you feel a little bit better by the end of it, then we've all done our job. Just before we close off, maybe notice how your breath feels within your body. How has your breath changed throughout the last half hour? And hopefully feeling, a little stiller in the mind, a little calmer, a little more present, right, than you were at the start. Nice. From here, soften your hands to your heart, press your thumbs into your sternum. And then just sort of a wholehearted bow, I should say. Wish yourself well. Wish everybody else well. Namaste. Thank you, you guys. Thank you for joining today. It was really nice to practice that one final live class of the year. Yeah, take what you want from it. And remember, right? Remember all of the ways to catch up. TikTok, Instagram. That's where you can catch nice little reels and little shorts. But then you always hear me say that I like to find YouTube and Facebook. That's where I find all of the content for the Virtual Village Hall. And remember, you can volunteer. There's lots of volunteer opportunities which are open, and you can support health and well-being of your local community. And I think being part of a community is such a magic thing, right? To give something back. It's a great way to connect. It's a great way to be sociable. It's a great way to learn new skills as well. So if you think you can do that, if you have a look on the sidebar here, there's a little HTTPS tiny URL, VVH, volunteer opportunities. Maybe give that a go. Is there anything else that is on there that I need to tell you about? No, that's a wrap, all right? I will see you live. I think it's the first week of, maybe the second week of January, actually. I don't know what all the dates are, but it's something like the 7th or the 8th, something like that week, right? Does that sound right? And we'll be here for another year where we can practice, right? We can practice together. And that might be, I'm not a huge fan of New Year's resolutions. I'm more of a fan of, just kind of steady building a practice up, because New Year's resolutions can sometimes fall apart quite early, can't they? So maybe you kind of have a little commitment where you do some of the Virtual Village Hall classes every week, maybe 3 a week, half an hour. Amazing, right? You'll feel so much better for it. Thank you, Katrina. It's very nice of you to say hi, and thank you. And to Jackie. And yes, practice over Christmas, guys. So important. I promise that I will. I'll be getting out as much as I can. I'll be going running. I'll be doing a little bit of gym work. I'll be eating as healthily as I can. I'm this kind of guy that's really annoying who, eats 99% chocolate and doesn't drink. And no one would invite me around for Christmas. Believe me. I don't eat meat, right? I'll be like one of those really awkward guests. I'd be like, oh, Dave's coming around. What's he going to eat? What shall we? Oh, he doesn't drink. All right, you guys. I'll see you all later. Have a great time, and happy Christmas to you all. Bye now.